I don't know if any of you out there have experienced this, but have you experienced when you're experiencing being in a state of pure absolute love and joy and experiencing being totally relaxed and you're using a black mirror as a method of communicating through that mirror that you experience the resistance to experience what you're experiencing because now you experience the distraction in it or what we call the resistance for it to experience what you're experiencing, which means it's uncomfortable experiencing what we experienced, which is being totally relaxed, which means every nerve fiber is experiencing being free, which means all the spirits and all the molecules and the elements are experiencing being free because there's zero tension to experience being one with all creation. And the beauty of that, which is non-polarized consciousness, which is pre-phase, because the flashing light sequences are occurring so fast. You're in the matter, you're not in the matter, you're in the matter, you're not in the matter, you're in the matter, you're not in the matter. Because you're experiencing being one with all creation. And that means that all the spirits and all the molecules and all the elementals are experiencing what we're experiencing, being one with a single breath. And one of the reasons why I love Plum Village and the wisdom keepers of that knowledge is practicing, experiencing the first breath of Kamalawati, which is the first breath of love, and experiencing the first breath when you have practiced this over and over and over again, having a lot of time to practice the spiritual practice of mindful breathing to experience being one, then the elements which represent the spirit and all the molecules, every unit of consciousness is now experiencing what you are, which is what love is, which is being one with all creation that is experienced being loved. So when you are what love is, then all the elements, all the molecules that are within you are experiencing what we are, which is what love is. That is a universe that is in love with itself because it's all experiencing being loved. And that is the first breath. The first breath, which is a gift, which is a gift of living spirit, which is the first eternal spirit, which is the first eternal internal creation sphere, which is the eternal spirit of fire that's in love with itself. And it's so in love with itself because you cannot compress eternal energy that we got to give it away at the fastest rate of speed. So we're experiencing the law of least effort. So we're experiencing being totally totally relaxed. So we're experiencing being in the eye of the first atmosphere, the first galactic tornado, being the first universal and galactic template, because we're experiencing the founder's mathematical language, which is basic logic, which is perfect balance to experience the center point of our heart, the center point of our oversoul, and the spirit from which it all began, which is the eternal spirit of absolute, pure, eternal love that's on fire to create. Now your CQ, which is your creative quotient, goes ballistic. And now that you are creative on fire, that raises what? Your level of intelligence. Because love is intelligent energy. And eternal love is eternal intelligent energy, because that's eternal creation spheres, which is the first creation sphere. So love is the highest intelligence. That's basic logic. That means we have a future, which means we don't have any time. We're only experiencing what love is. It goes on forever. That is the eternal moment that we experience in our heart and our soul, which means there isn't a future, there isn't the past, there's only right now, which is eternity, because we're experiencing being loved. And we know that we're experiencing being loved because that love is real, because it's living energy in oversoul spirit, what we experience as an oversoul spirit, experiencing being loved. So we are what love is in living spirit. Wherever you find love in living spirit, you'll find us, the first breath of a pink diamond rose. Where the two become one, the one becomes the all. That's non-polarization. That's called neutral, which is non-polarized, right? Which means I'm not gender yet. I'm one blast furnace. The two magnets come together to experience being one. Now we're oscillating back and forth between alternating magnets, experiencing being perfect balance in the center point. Let the energy do the work for you, right? Which means there's no effort to breathe eternity, because that's all there is. So when you're experiencing eternity, you know that there isn't any past or any future. There's only what love is, because love is what's real. And when I knew that at 4 years of age, we used to have an old saying, let's get real. So that's when you start mapping the masqueraders, and you know that they're not real. How do you know that? Because we're experiencing dead light or artificial light in them, we're detecting and experiencing in us. So we know the difference between what's real and what's not real. Which is real living light, which is eternal, absolute, pure love that's on fire to create worlds out of what love is. That's basic, simple logic, huh? So thank you all to Plum Village. I love you all for all of the wisdom that you share as masters of spiritual healing. Mwah.